Welcome to the first video lesson for your 1 platoon training. During this period of instruction, you will be taught how to prepare and deliver formal orders using a SMEAC Proforma. The reason you are taught this is because it's a necessary element of being an NCO and will be assessed as part of your Gold Falcon on BIV. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to effectively prepare and present formal orders using the SMEAC Proforma. So, the purpose of formal orders is to deliver any objective or part of an activity briefing. A lot of these formal orders are before major activities like BIV, but can also be for not as major activities like one exercise during BIV. These orders are usually conducted in a field environment prior to a night X or a large scale activity, as I said. So, prior to delivering the formal orders, you want to arrange members of the group in a horseshoe or similar formation so they can see the mind map on the ground. When you're doing this, you want to account for their learning. So you need to think about the position of the sun, and you need to stick to the correct sequence when delivering your orders. So, first off the bat, SMEAC. It's an acronym that stands for Situation, Mission, Execution, Administration Logistics, Command and Signals, and yes. So, when explaining the situation, this is where the MUD model plays a major part in your formal orders. You need to have your MUD model and describe the layout of the area of operations and the features of the terrain. During the situation, you also need to describe the personnel that will be present during your activity. The mission. The mission needs to be said twice every time. It is important that the mission is said twice because everyone needs to write it down to make sure they know what is going on. During your mission, you will need to state who, what they will do, where they will do it, and why they will do it, and there'll be an example at the end. Execution. When going through the execution, you need to state the general outline, the groupings and tasks, and coordinating instructions. General outline refers to the intent of the activities that will be conducted during your exercise. Groupings and tasks refers to the division of all the members of your group and what those divisions of members will be doing. And the coordinating instructions is more specifically those tasks and what those members will be doing. Admin and logistics specifically refers to required stores and logistical information. Command and signals refers to communication through various means, specifically referring to us, radio and improvised comms, and command and signals also goes through the net information. At the end of your formal orders, you need to ask questions. This is very important because if someone has a question that's not clarified, they might not know what they're doing and the mission might not be executed as it needs to be. MUD models. When you create a MUD model, you must include the north point, vegetation of the area, topography of the area, like mountains, stuff like that, which you can use with piles of dirt or whatever's accessible to you. Vegetation, obviously, you need to go from light, dense, medium, or cover all of that using symbols or little bits that you find in your environment to create a MUD map. You need to include roads and tracks, creeks and crossings, bodies of water, boundaries, built-up areas, no-go areas, current location, location of other forces, specifically your friendly forces and also your enemy forces. You need to be able to distinguish which one is which, because you do not want them you do not want them to get confused during your orders, because that may make the mission go entirely wrong. Apart from that, you only need to go over other unique features of the terrain like spot heights and specific locations. When you're making a MUD model, there are two types of models. The first one is a cloth model, which is made out of non-found materials from your environment, like pipe cleaners and training aids. Training aids can be as simple as a peg to represent something, or you can go all the way and put in all the effort. And I remember a CUO owner, when he was giving formal orders one time, he got little toy trees and stuff and scattered them dispersed in the different levels of vegetation to represent those levels of vegetation. Stuff like that. You want to make sure that when you make formal orders in a MUD map, you're putting the most effort into your MUD map so the cadets can get the most learning out of my map. The other type of mud model is mud and sand models. These are made out of earth and naturally found materials. As I said before, you can build up mountains out of little piles of dirt. You can use sticks and such, whatever you can find to represent creeks and crossings, boundaries, built up areas, all that type of stuff. So your mud map needs to be created prior to your delivery of orders, obviously. You need to refer to your mud map throughout your situation, and you need to make sure that everyone can see what you're doing. You need to do this by having a pointing stick where you can point to different areas of the mud map as you talk about them. Your mud map must include the features of topography. It must be scaled and bordered, and it's normally constructed in the field. By scaled and bordered, I mean you have to state the scale of the mud model in reference to the area that you're operating in, and you have to have the mud map bordered along the boundaries of the area of operation. So I wasn't able to make a mud map, but this map refers to the SMEAC example that I'm going to give you guys at the end, and this is of our area of operations for Osprey X. So here we have Hawkesbury River Station. Obviously, we've got a big body of water. The darker green patches are the dense vegetation, lighter green, lighter vegetation. The grey is built up areas. There's a train line here, as you can see, and some roads, which indicates roads and tracks. There's a track there that's named, and if I had tools to do it, I would annotate where our track would be going up into here. Here, this little location point is our area of operations at Woy Woy Biv site. So when you're doing this, you can construct it in the field in a similar way, just making sure that you get all of the major points down, like names of rivers, names of different places, routes, special locations like this Biv site, roads and tracks, spot heights, things like that.